how is everyone doing? Today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're looking at Darksiders Warmastered Edition and my thoughts on it in 2023. Originally released in January 2010, Darksiders is a hack and slash game that really brings you back to the old school action games that used to fill our shelves. Remastered and renamed Warmastered Edition in 2016, the game itself retains much of the fun from the originals whilst mainly improving visuals and providing settings options. Although the game itself would probably be considered by some today as childish, I personally think it's lost none of its charm over the years and really showcases some of the essence of why I started playing games in the first place. The PC controls have definitely not aged very well, the throwing, shooting and aiming mechanics being the main culprits. Like, look at this, what is this edge panning business when you could have easily just had the entire camera movement based off the mouse as the central focal point. Plenty of other devs have done this in the past with other titles, so I'm not sure why this particular PC port is so bad. Look, it's still serviceable, I guess, and at this point as a PC gamer, I wouldn't expect too much, especially for such an old title. Although I'm pretty sure they could have done that with the original port too. The traversal still works just fine though, and the melee combat can be pretty satisfying when you're executing enemies and decapitating demons. You generally don't need to worry too much about being killed though, as enemies will wait for your finishes. On harder difficulties, the amount of damage foes do, especially from bosses, really packs a punch though, and the number of mobs that can spawn can overwhelm you, but most people should be able to manage pretty easily. The graphics are obviously not going to be anything to write home about, being a game from nearly a decade since it's been remastered and in comparison to titles released today. Still, in my humble opinion, it holds up very nicely, especially when it's coupled with the art style of Joe Mad. I mean, who doesn't love the huge oversized weapons, exaggerated action, and gameplay after all? The music, although probably not the most iconic, is quite well done, especially with some of the orchestral themes during the story cutscenes.
It's there, beneath the stench of this place. You can sense it, ancient. From neither the White City nor the Black Depths. Something lost between.
Personally, I think the sound design is really awesome. Weapons are each unique enough without being too overbearing, and they do the job. Especially when you're murdering demons. One aspect that I think is also really well done is definitely the voice acting. Mark Hamill really carries the plot forward with a very dark and demonic Watcher, whilst Liam O'Brien voices an excellent, angry, brooding protagonist that is War.
Not so fast, Horseman. Let's lay down a few ground rules. Until this is over, you're a dog on a leash. I say bark, you bark. And if I have to kick you, you'd better not bare your teeth. Understand?
Troy Baker also does some voice work as Abaddon, and Moon Bloodgood voices the Angel and the new leader of the Hellguard Uriel.
Where are my brothers? This cannot be the final seal.
My lord!
How did this happen? The seventh seal was not broken!
What in heaven's name have you done?
I answer the call.
Now, PC aiming controls and keybinds aside, gameplay itself is still super fun, albeit simple, although I do know some people would prefer the simplicity of it. At the end of the day, the game's combat is pretty satisfying, and both the ability and weapon variety is more than you'd expect for a game this size. New unlocks are scattered throughout and keep the player engaged for the duration of the story's progression. Enemy variety isn't huge, but considering the length and size of the game, I do think there is more than enough to keep your attention. The boss variety works very well with the story and can prove to be a challenge for some, though I don't think many people will have trouble with the difficulty of this game as it is quite forgiving. The best part of the game for me, however, is still definitely the story. With a surprisingly deep lore and backstory, Darksiders delivers a unique spin on the end of days. Probably not so unique in 2023, but I still really enjoyed it. The game is essentially just the absolute epitome of what a high school teenage boy would consider cool, or at least what I would have back in the day. With ridiculously large armor and oversized weapons, fun, fast-paced hack and slash action coupled with excessive gore and executions, this is what a certain someone would call a video game-ass video game. Look, some people will probably find this game a little too easy, but as long as you don't go in expecting Souls-like depth and enjoy a bit of mindless demon mutilation, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Darksiders Warmastered Edition is definitely worth playing in 2023.